Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Global Hemp Group. We're sitting here once again with Curt. Curt, it's been a while. How are you doing today?
I am fabulous. Thank you for
Good,
asking.
good. It's glad to have you back. So I want to jump into it a little bit. Let's talk about what's been going on with the company since you guys had changed direction, right? So last year, you guys had decided to change direction, not just specifically focus on hemp cultivation. Now, how has that been going so far? Now that we're about half or quarter of the way through 2021.
Well, it was a big change for us. As you suggested, we did, for the last 3 years, have been focused on growing hemp for cannabinoid extraction. And it really wasn't our vision, it wasn't our passion. And the opportunity presented itself to really expand into the industrial applications of hemp, which, as I said, was always our vision and we thought would be the biggest segment of the market over time. And so, to that end, we partnered up with Western Sierra Resources. They are a group out of Colorado that have extensive water rights and water infrastructure holdings. And since that announcement in September, we've been working on issuing our preferred shares and acquiring basically control of the company and the assets. And so that is the fundamental cornerstone for what we want to do in Colorado, which is to build hemp-based affordable housing that is using sustainable construction methods, utilizing the water infrastructure so that we have a beneficial use of the water for not only the housing development, but for the agricultural aspect, which is, of course, hemp. And then for the lands that are not growing hemp, we would be growing hay and alfalfa, which is typically what's grown in this particular area. So what we're working on these days is closing up that transaction, acquiring the first batch of acreage. We've identified a number of targets there that will be instrumental in this whole development of the project. And then we can roll up our sleeves. It's still not too late to get the hemp in the ground and begin by, we'd look to build at least two demonstration houses that we could use for pre-sales over this coming year and begin the whole process. Ultimately, then be able to develop the hemp building materials that will be utilized in these houses. And it really gives us an interesting opportunity to be a showcase in North America. Typically what happens, you're starting to see more and more hemp-based construction, not like you see in say Europe, where you have some companies that are building 500 houses a year right now under using hempcrete, which is of course a mixture of the inner woody core from the stalk of the hemp plant, along with a lime binder and just simply water. So those three ingredients make up hempcrete. And so unlike most companies where they'll do one house here, one house there, we're going to build a whole community. So you're going to get the benefit of utilizing the hemp that's grown right there on site and manufacturing right there on site and making a totally vertically integrated project, because you grow it, you manufacture it, and you sell it to the housing development, the housing sells, and it's totally vertically integrated.
Nice. Would you say that this adoption of hemp for construction and plenty of other uses has been stifled over time and is kind of now long overdue, now that the country's kind of, I would say, loosening restrictions around it that didn't really need to be there?
Oh, very definitely. One of the key cornerstones of what we do is research and development, and we do have an R&D division based in Mexico that is continuing to expand. But research on the whole, in the whole hemp industry, was totally stagnant for pretty much 80 years. Well, the hemp plant was illegal and nobody was growing it. If you look back, even if you look back hundreds and hundreds of years, hemp was used. If you look back at 1,500 years ago, for example, the Ellora caves in India, they have determined that the reason that these are still standing is that they've been utilizing the hemp fiber in the building of these particular buildings, going back all this many years. So it's an amazing fiber. It strengthens. It is just. I believe that if there wasn't this moratorium, you would see, plastic bag alternatives made out of hemp, the fiber out of that. You'd use the building materials, the bioplastics, biocomposites, clothing, all of these things. Now with the legalization of hemp in North America, you're going to see more research, which then means that you will develop more technologies, and these products will become more cost effective relative to their carbon-based alternatives. And that's where you'll get wide adoption over the coming decade, say, for example.
Okay, yeah, I agree that it's been a long time coming, and unfortunately it was stifled for a long time. But the amount of changes that companies like you guys coming through can do could be really beneficial for the world as a whole in terms of trash, in terms of recycling, in terms of building materials and building durability and building price eventually too, right? So, Curt, is there anything else you want to say about where the company's headed?
Well, I think you're going to see over the next short little bit, we're going to conclude some of these initiatives that we've been working on. And I think you're going to see a pretty good news flow from the completion of these items. We continue to expand our R&D in Mexico. We're working on a number of collaborations, both at the university level and potentially at the state level. And we would, as soon as we're able to announce them, conclusion of these things, we obviously will. And I think people will be fairly surprised. We are developing a really good team, and collaboration is something that we are very, very interested in. That's part of the reason why we joined the U.S. Hemp Building Association, is that, again, surround ourselves with like-minded people that have the same cause. And if, as a group, you all work together, you will have success.
Awesome, Curt. Well, again, thank you for your wisdom and thanks for the updates. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to send them over to us. We'll be happy to answer them for you. Curt, once again, thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.